Hello everyone, it's Maha. Where's the camera on this thing? Oh, I think it's down here. How are you? Thank you for being here. It's my birthday today, so I thought I'd do a vlog and talk to you a little bit about what I've been up to, what I was up to last week in the past 10 days, which is why I haven't made videos. I wanted to make so many videos in November, but unfortunately I wasn't feeling well. And I'm going to talk to you about that a little bit because it's something that's really, it was quite a serious thing that happened to me. I wasn't just sick like with a cold or flu. So I want to talk to you about it, especially because it's my birthday and it made me come up with a birthday resolution. And that's what I do every year when I have my birthdays. I think of birthdays as like your personal new year, and I don't make New Year's resolutions. I never do. I do that on my birthdays. I think of every year as being an important new beginning for you, especially because it's your solar return. It's just a really important it's a very significant point if you think of astrology, if you think of not only astrology but the universe and the cosmos and what is taking place. So anyway, I made my birthday resolution last year was to start a YouTube channel, which I did. And this year, and I'm really happy I did, by the way. I love making videos for you. I think I'm becoming so much more comfortable talking in front of the camera. I found it so awkward in the beginning. But yeah, I guess you get used to it. I wanted to be able to speak in front of the camera the way I speak to people, like my friends, or even when I'm teaching to my students. It just wasn't the same for me. It felt so fake. But I think what is important now is that I've gotten to know some of you, and sharing comments, talking to you, it just makes it feel so much more real. And another thing is I always worry about time. I'm always looking, I'm talking too much, it's getting boring. But Kelly from Truth and Story, who I'm going to talk about in this video because something relates to her as well. She kind of inspires me because she can do the longest rambles and everybody loves it. So it's like, okay, I'm just gonna keep talking and see what happens. I'm gonna try not to worry about time in this video. So I wanted to talk to you about what happened to me last week just briefly, and then I want to show you some new decks that I got for my birthday. Well, one of them hasn't arrived yet. I'll show you later when it arrives. And then and then I want to talk to you about charm casting, the experience I had with Kelly from Truth and Story, and so a little bit of this and that. So what happened to me 10 days ago was pretty serious. I didn't want to talk about it at first, but then I thought, it's always those important personal challenges or like difficult things that we go through in life that makes us connect to each other and understand and learn. And that's one of the purposes of making this channel. When I first thought about making the channel was to share my experiences, and maybe hopefully someone will gain something from it, something meaningful, something they can take away and learn, or just use in their own life. Because at the time before I started making my videos, I used to watch a lot of videos where people talked about going through anxiety, depression, and like their own experiences and stuff. And I mean, it was so helpful for me because I was going through some hard periods in my life. And it was really good to hear other people talk and share. And that's what YouTube is all about anyway. It's all about sharing. So I thought I'd tell you just briefly what happened. I'm not going to get into too much detail because otherwise I can write a book about it. But okay, so what happened was I was on some medication. The medication was, one of them was a nerve pain medication. And some of you might know it. It's called Lyrica. It's a pretty hardcore drug for nerve pain, And then I was also on another, it's an antidepressant. I'm not, I mean, actually, I'm not going to tell you the name because I changed it 3 times. But they put me on this antidepressant also originally because of nerve pain, but also because I had a lot of anxiety that was related to the pain. One fascinating thing is actually that the part of your brain that is responsible for, that's in charge of kind of your moods, is also the part of the brain that is in control of making you feel pain, especially neuropathic pain. So that's so interesting. I didn't know that before, and I found it amazing to know that they can use the same type of drugs for depression and for pain, and because it's the same part of the brain. It's all the central nervous system, which is why there's such a thing as psychosomatic pain, because neuropathic pain, it begins with the pain with your brain. You feel the pain because it goes to your brain and sends signals of pain. Not all pain is the same, but this one particularly is like that. So I was on this medication for about 2.5 years, which is a long time for those type of drugs. And when you come off of those drugs, they wean you off slowly. They never just cut it cold turkey. But they had to do it for me because I was going through extreme side effects. And it was very strange to the doctors. They didn't know it was the side effects to begin with because it didn't happen right away. And usually, the side effects from drugs, it happens in the beginning, not long term. Sometimes it does, like in my case, but usually it doesn't. So I had lots of side effects. Like it happened slowly. It actually started 8 months ago. Gradually, it got worse and worse. And then last week, Monday, you guys, I'm not exaggerating. I was dying. Like the medication was toxic. It was killing me slowly. And last week on Monday, I couldn't even wake up. Like I was in such a deep sleep, but horrible sleep. I had a horrible night. Like I had like nerve stuff happening in my brain. I was like, jittery. I was crying. I felt like I was floating on my bed, sinking in my bed, going back. Horrible with like withdrawal effects, but there were side effects because they were doing stuff to my brain. I kept thinking of the movie Trainspotting. I don't know if you've ever seen that, where the part where he's coming off of heroin. Like it was a nightmare. I can't even believe it that I'm here right now talking to you. Like I thought I was dying. And I was seriously thinking that I'm dying because, and I was even thinking, I can't die. I have so much to do. I'm not finished. I guess it was kind of like a near-death experience because I didn't feel like I was in my body. The side effects progressively got worse. Last week, Monday, was my worst day, but on Friday, I started feeling really bad. Like I could not eat. So I hadn't eaten in a long time. I would have like this slice, half of a slice of a bread and this much rice a day just to survive and have like sugar water because I knew I didn't want to end up in the hospital. Gosh, you guys. Anyway, I won't talk too much about it because it kind of starts to make me feel anxious. But I was suffering all kinds of side effects like the worst migraine headaches. I couldn't stand light. I couldn't stand sound. I was like not feeling anxious, but I was just sick, like nauseous, like extreme nauseous, extreme dizziness. Anyway, all those things for a whole week. On Monday, I had to come off of the drugs like completely. My doctor had to stop everything. So after about a few days, I actually started feeling withdrawal effects, as well as I still had side effects. I still have a tiny little bit of like nauseous feeling right now as I'm talking to you. It's not all over, but I can actually think because yesterday I had my first meal in a week and a half, like actual meat with like protein and like a meal with protein and fat and everything. Anyway, it was a nightmare. Like I'm glad to be here with you guys though, and the reason I'm talking about this is because I took the medication for chronic pain, and for a long time I wanted to stop my medication, but I was afraid. I was afraid of afraid of pain, afraid of having to deal with pain, even though the medication doesn't take it away, obviously 100%, it only reduces it, but the pain was giving me anxiety and I couldn't stand it. And I remember watching a video of Kelly Ann Maddox from Four Queens. She was talking about how she was dealing with chronic pain, and then she had to stop her medication. And when she stopped her medication, she could actually think and do things and be active, you know. She wasn't like saying that everyone should stop, but that's what she did. And then I was thinking, I'm not ready. I was thinking I really would like to stop my medication, but I'm not ready to stop it. I'm not ready. And you know, that was like probably 8 months ago when I started feeling my side effects. So I feel like, this is not the first time this has happened to me, my body has such an intelligence, and the body is really intelligent. Your body too, everybody's body, and it forced me. It literally forced me. This is the second time in my life that's happened, like very majorly. It was like, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to take medication anymore. You have to stop it. And I wasn't stopping it, so it made me. And it was really dramatic. It was really, really. It was like the Tower card. It was like, okay, shaking me up. That's it. You know, drugs have to go, and you are strong enough now to rely on yourself and your resources and everything you've learned up to this point to take care of your pain, not drugs. That's what it was. That's what happened. So now I'm off of drugs, and obviously I have moments where I'm like, I'm not on any drugs, maybe I shouldn't walk, maybe I should, you know, when I get pain, I think like, how can I do things now, and you know, but I am way stronger than I used to be, and I know I'll be fine. So, and with natural stuff, with herbs, like honestly, what that medication did to me was insane. Like I don't even, if I knew it would have done that to me, I would have probably never taken those things. Like they're just toxic for your body. Anyway, that's just what happened to me. But not everyone. I mean, anyway, I don't think medication is bad. It's just that was a wake up call, I guess. So, one thing like I said about the resolution thing, I made my personal New Year resolution this year is I made a vow to myself that I'm going to, every time, at least 3 times a day for the 3 meals that I eat, I'm going to do a ritual, do some kind of, go within myself and do a little prayer about how amazing my body is when it can do what it's supposed to do, and how amazing it is to be able to eat and not have problems. Just that, simply eat and not have problems, and then, you know, just be able to eat, have food. It's such a blessing that we just don't think about every day. I mean, it's amazing what the body does and all the processes it has to go through from the moment you put your food in your mouth, and when it gets digested down up here and goes down there and digests again, and absorbs all the nutrients that you need, and then it just secretes what it doesn't want and gives it back to the earth. And it's just like that whole process and all the stuff that has to work perfectly in your body for it to be able to do that and make you feel good and give you energy is beyond amazing. And it's something we don't think about because we're always, including myself, very much so, focusing on how to make things better, how to set goals for myself. Like, my goal right now is to be this weight, this exact weight, or this amount of weight, or lose this much and gain this much, or gain muscle, get stronger, blah blah blah. Like, everything is about like the outer part of the body. Do we ever stop and think how amazing it is when we can just chew and swallow and be okay? And it made me really, really, really appreciate the processes. Not only the fact that people say you should be grateful. Well, we are grateful for having food in this part of the world, because in some parts of the world people don't get to eat, and they're starving. And yes, all of that I think about, and I think about the fact that your body is amazing when it's doing what it's supposed to do. And so if I ever think like, I ate too much, or why did I eat that? And maybe you guys, maybe this will help you in some way, is I think, you know what? I ate too much. Great. My body can handle it. And it's digesting it, and I feel fine. And it's such a blessing to be able to digest your food. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much about that. It might be boring, but I think that's just it's amazing. The body is amazing, and I just want to let it do what it wants to do. Yes, I love goals. I love setting myself goals, and I got to be like this and that. But if I ever hear myself saying, "Oh, I ate too much," or I shouldn't have, no. My body is doing what it's supposed to do. Thank you, body, for doing what you're supposed to do. That you're perfect. You're doing everything perfect. That's just what that was just my birthday vows to myself, I think. Because I love food, I'm someone who loves food, and unfortunately I've had some big problems with my digestive system in the past, actually, since I was a little kid. So my problem has always been, how do I gain weight rather than losing weight? We all have our own issues. People look at me sometimes and they're like, "Oh, you're so lucky, you're so thin, you have no problems." But that's not true. You don't have no problems just because you have a tall, slender body that might look like a fashion magazine girl. That doesn't make you perfect. That doesn't make you without pain. That doesn't make you without problems. That everybody deals with their own issues, and it's not how we look, and it's just like, but unfortunately we judge, and that's how we are. We're all human, and we don't know what people are going through just by looking at them. So that was my big intro. Thanks to Kelly for inspiring me that I can do it and not care about time, which is already 17 minutes. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys, I'm going to change the angle of my camera, and I can't edit this again, so you're going to have to see me turning my camera. Okay, so I want to show you some, my decks, the new ones. One of them is this one, and I actually just unboxed this. Let me see if my camera's better this way. Sorry, guys. Yeah, it's okay. So, thanks for letting me turn you around. Okay, so my two new decks I have, kind of my birthday decks. I've got a couple of other ones coming up, but they're still in the mail, and it's too bad. I wanted to show you one of them. I was so excited because it's a very expensive deck, but I got the French version, because I can read French, and I thought it would be a good practice, especially reading the book. So I'll show you that deck when it comes here. But I got two today, and I just opened them up. I have the wrapping. I had to redo the video because Cheeky, my parrot, was being very demanding and bossy and didn't want me to talk to you guys, so I had to refilm it. So the first deck is, well, the second deck. The first one was this one, Chrysalis Tarot and the Wildwood Tarot. Finally, I got the Wildwood Tarot. I've been thinking about it for the longest time, but it was like around $50 on Amazon, and I thought, that's a little too much. But I don't know, for some reason, it was $19.99, $20 on camera, on Amazon, just the other week. So before I started to feel sick, because when I was feeling sick, I couldn't even look at the computer screen. Not joking. So anyway, I got this, and I'm very excited. I haven't even looked at the cards of any of these two decks yet, because I wanted to do my unboxing, but that didn't work out. Anyway, they're still in their wrapping, see? The cards are going here, and I know you guys, most of you know this deck. Just wanted to show you how I'm gonna feel when I look at it, which I'm just so excited because I love the Druid, or the Druid Tarot. And Kelly, you made me buy the Plant Oracle also. I just ordered it, and the Chrysalis Tarot. So the Chrysalis Tarot, I'm gonna talk about this one first. Kelly from Truth and Story, did I already say that? I think I did. She did a giveaway, I think it was in the summertime, and I won the charm casting. And it was so cool because as I was watching her draw, I was thinking, oh, I really want to get the charm casting. Maybe I will get it because I'm so interested. I was so interested in knowing what it's like, what how people do charm casting. I never had that done before, so I won it. I was the third person. I won that one, and she was so awesome. She was so generous. She did a video, a personal, like a private YouTube video for me. Spent like almost an hour on it and did the charm casting, and it was just amazing. It was so cool to see her reading these tiny little objects that they're just sitting there, and to me it was just so interesting. She so imaginative to read all these things, which were quite accurate, quite amazing, and she also did, after that, she did a couple of pulls of this tarot deck for me, because she said one of the cards in the deck reminded her of me. I'm going to show you that one, and then I loved what she said about the two images that she showed, and how she made it connect so seamlessly to the reading, the charm casting. And then I went and checked out her review of that Chrysalis Tarot deck, and it sold me, because she just has a way of selling me the decks that she does, convincing me, let's say. Don't get this wrong, Kelly, don't feel guilty about it or anything. Not saying you do, but just in case. I mean, it's awesome. If I ever have, if there is ever a deck that I don't want to get, I watch hers, and she makes me actually think about changing my mind. And the reason why I didn't want to get the Chrysalis Tarot deck is because there were some cards in here that I just did not connect to. And I'll show you which ones. And I thought, no, I can't. Anyway. So now I'm looking at the deck for the first time, but the only thing is I've already seen the backs of the card, and I love the backs. I mean, I loved it already when I saw the deck on people's reviews, because I just thought, I love butterflies. I'm wearing my butterfly necklace today. I've always had a big fascination ever since I was a little child with butterflies until now, and this is a necklace my grandma gave me just before she passed away, when she was on her deathbed. I wasn't there, and she gave this to my dad for me. And I don't know how she knew that I love butterflies. I don't know. We were not that close, my grandma and I, but I mean, like in distance, we were always living far apart, but I guess she had and she used to wear this all the time. This was her favorite. And I also wanted to get a butterfly tattoo a long time ago, and I'm glad I didn't, because I don't have any tattoos, but if I were to get a tattoo, I would get something different. Maybe I would get a butterfly with some kind of Persian design that has a meaningful prayer on it, or I don't know, just something that's a little more, not just decorative. But I love butterflies. I just love the feeling of the joyfulness. Anyway, that's the back of the card, and I just thought in the beginning, I thought, wow, I have to get this deck. It's a Chrysalis Tarot. It's all about what I love about butterflies. But I didn't until now, and I'm glad. It's just beautiful. The Artiste. I just saw this Queen of Stones. I haven't seen this deck really. This is the first time I'm looking at it. Beautiful colors. Beautiful feeling. I know now why people love this deck. It's such a gorgeous... I mean, the first initial glance... Two of Mirrors. I love swans, and I want to make a video about swan soon, because they've been coming up for me a lot in the past 6 months. And it's just such beautiful colors, very joyful, very, very, what's the word? Magical, maybe, dreamy. Okay, so it's a bit different, this deck. I don't know, this is not really a review, guys. This is just the looking at card with you and rambling. And I love this quality of, like, kind of the, that exotic part of the world, like, ancient. It has an ancient feel to it, the dreamer. So I have no idea what scrolls, and it's scrolls, mirrors, and spirals. Oh yeah, so the one that reminds her of me was the 8 of Spirals. she showed that one. She went through it and she's like, you have to see this one. It reminds me of you. I think it was the Eight of Spirals. Maybe it's not. Oh no, spirals are wands, and Eight of Spirals is my card. It's the Sagittarius card in the pip cards. I'm so excited, you guys. I'm gonna do an astrology tarot video for you, and that's scheduled to be in March, probably, because I have so many other videos I have to do before then. But it's gonna be a series. I'm gonna do like a tutorial, huge, really going in depth in astrology and tarot. I'm just looking at these without showing you, but okay, they're just so lovely. The colors are beautiful. Look at that, Three of Squirrels. So much feeling comes out in this deck. Very emotional, very intuitive. Quite interesting. I really can't wait to figure out what all these, the meaning, like the psychological meaning behind this deck are. There's a lot of animals, which I love. Phoenix. Love the Phoenix. Psyche. Psyche, the world. Wow. Love this world card, and I love how she's extending her wings like butterfly wings. The stones, wow, very like the use of animals gives you that feeling that there's a lot of, it's a very spiritual deck. Yeah, for sure. Very nice drawing, very beautiful drawings, paintings, or artwork, I guess. I don't really know. I think it's just mixed media. Beautiful. I think the one I didn't like one of the cards that I didn't like was this one. Divine Child, the Hierophant. And I mean, I have to read about it, I have to learn about it and adjust. But I actually like now the fact that the cards are somewhat different from the typical Rider-Waite cards that we get. How gorgeous is that? And the colors are pretty okay. They're showing up pretty okay on my screen right now, so I'm happy about that, because I think that is so important when you're thinking of buying a deck, because for me it is. I have to see what the artwork looks like. That's the first thing I see, and if it's not, it's really hard to get good quality videos. I know it's not easy to do. Get the perfect lighting. Yeah, so this is one of the cards that she talked about a lot. Belladonna, the devil. The mask came up for me a lot in my reading. I think another card I didn't really connect to was Merlin, and I didn't connect to it because I thought, why is it 0? Why isn't it 1? But I will learn about that, and I kind of do know why, because Kelly had a really nice way of explaining it. This deck is very, very feminine also. I think that feminine intuitive, that goddess energy comes out for me. Which one was the card that Kelly said looked like me? I have to show you guys that one. I have to see it myself. Yeah, so... Oh, here it is. 8 of Scrolls. That's what I thought I said. No, I said Spirals. Okay, 8 of Scrolls. Interesting. Is that the sword card? 8 of Swords, maybe? That's the card, Kelly. So, does that look like me, guys? Huh? I mean, thank you, Kelly. This is a compliment. She's like some kind of Egyptian goddess. Wow. I'm very, very pleased with how you see me, Kelly. Thank you. Alright. Oh, how sweet is that? 4 of Spirals. So, I think, I love these plants. I don't know what they're called, but I love them. I think that the scrolls are the swords. 8 of Swords is one of my pip cards too, because I have a Gemini ascendant, and Mercury is very strong in my chart. I can't wait to do that tutorial for you guys, because I want to build my knowledge of astrology and tarot into this series of videos where I'll talk about which are your cards in astrology, what's your tarot astrology cards, and the lessons you can learn from them, because it's just such a nice way to get to know the tarot. Okay, so Wildwood tarot deck, and the book of the Druid tarot deck is amazing. I love the book. It's been 30 minutes, you guys. If you're still with me, thank you. You're so nice to spend all your time. I mean, it's just so nice to be able to sit with you. Thank you. So the book looks awesome. Oh, you know what I just noticed? Okay, so another reason I didn't get this deck to begin with was it used to have keywords on the bottom, but how come there's no keywords anymore? Is there? I don't think anymore. It doesn't. Stones? Oh yeah, okay, there is. Not really. Oh yeah, okay, so right, there is, but it's different. It used to be that they had the keywords. I mean, a long time ago, I remember seeing a review for this deck, and I saw that they had, like, for example, here, 6 of stones. It was on top, and then it said exploitation on the bottom. Do any of you guys remember that? Anyway, so that's how it used to be, and I didn't really like that idea. Usually I don't like when there's a keyword on tarot cards, because I think it's a bit distracting for my intuition and for me. As soon as I see a word, it's like right away it ingrains in my brain, and it kind of dictates what I'm seeing. So I'd rather not have a keyword on tarot. And I don't also like reading for clients when there's a word, because then it might make them think or feel that they have to go with that keyword. Sometimes people are not comfortable with images, and I think one of the reasons we use tarot is to open up the subconscious mind and to get information that's already there from the client, using tarot, with the help of tarot. So I think that is the reason why I didn't like tarot decks with keywords on them, because it was just like kind of distracting, maybe. But anyway, this is a beautiful deck, and I'm sure most of you guys know and there are awesome video reviews. I always say videos, but I mean reviews. It looks very different than how I imagined. I wonder if this is a slightly different deck because it's smaller. The cards are smaller than the Druid cards. The Druid tarot deck, yeah, they're much smaller. They're still bigger than... No, they're not longer, but they're a little wider than the standard Rider-Waite Smith. The graphics, I just love the graphics. I love his artwork. It's not doesn't look as detailed, and oh, I love this. Is that the Fool? That's amazing. I love that rainbow coming out of his foot. Gorgeous background. This is a card that I really fell in love with, the Shaman. Anyway, I'm not gonna go through all the cards, but I'm very happy to have this in my edition, and I have a feeling that I'm going to be using it a lot this month. Feels like that foresty nature, animals. I love Druid. I love Druidry. I can't wait to learn with this book. The Druid Oracle deck book taught me a lot about tarot and about even Wicca, paganism. It mentioned a lot of things in there. It's like a very, very good book, just a book. And the tarot deck I'm in love with. I did a video before, tag video, that I said it's one of my favorite. It was, I think, my #1 favorite deck. And I really, really, really am so happy I got this deck. The colors are really nice. Like, look at the background of the sky behind the bear. Look at how it's blended so beautifully. And then you have this drawing, intricate like line drawing, pen drawing with watercolor. Really, really amazing technique. Gorgeous symbolism. I love this, the wheel card. The Wheel of Fortune is one of the cards in the Major Arcana I always look for, because I think it's hard to make it creative. It's hard to make it different. Wow. And then the Star card is another card I always look for. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Look at the sky. Look at the movement. I mean, you are an amazing artist. You are amazing. Okay, so, by the way, the illustrations you probably know are by Will Worthington. I feel like I should end my video here now. It's been one more card. The Breath of Life. You know what? I do like the keywords now. I mean, what I said before still stands, but just for me personally, learning, that's one of the reasons why I collect tarot, is to learn how other artists and authors have, how they view each card. So reading the keywords can be also nice when you're learning, maybe, give you like a stepping stone, somewhere to go by. Ace of Stones, the foundation of life. Beautiful keywords. Very poetic, very thoughtful, and very engaging deck. So exciting. And I also got this bracelet, moonstone bracelet, for my birthday. I got it yesterday. And I love moonstone. Okay guys, sending you lots of love. Thank you so much for being here, and let me know what you thought about my 37-minute video, okay? Mwah. Talk to you soon. See you in the next videos.